Yeah, dude, it hurt really bad. People are like, did that hurt? And I'm like, I don't know. Have you ever heard of Achilles? Half God, half man, played by a chiseled Brad Pitt. No one could kill him. He killed whole armies. He killed the biggest guy of the army with one stab. All right? Finally, someone shot him with an arrow through the Achilles tendon, and he was like, fuck it! And he laid down and died. It kills gods. Yeah, it hurts. At least I got a handicap sticker, so that was awesome. Now I know where my life is going. That's when you know it gets good.
Watching, Jiggy Jag, Jiggy Jag, Jiggy Jag, Jiggy Jag, Jiggy Jag. You're watching Jiggy, Jiggy, Jiggy Jag, Jiggy, 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 Jiggy Jag, Jiggy, Jiggy Jag.
Yeah. Jiggy Jag TV, live as live can get at the Red Shed of all places in Hutchinson, Kansas. And it's going down like a horny lesbian at the Red Shed tonight. And we have a great guest with us. Go ahead and introduce yourself, my friend.
Yeah, Austin Anderson, stand-up comic, 20 years in.
Holy shit.
Yeah, man.
So, what has been one of the worst moments in your comedy career?
In my comedy career? I'd say the most bizarre thing is when, it was fairly early on, and I started doing corporates. And I went to go do this corporate at a very nice country club, for people that obviously had money. And I get there and talking with the guy, he's like, all right, your table's right over here. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, oh yeah, you're going to go under the table, go on this little platform, stick your head out of the table, and then I'll pull the thing off, and then you tell jokes as people are getting their food. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. And he's like, I'll give you $300 more. I'm like, done, because he's already, paying me well. And I'm like, done, whatever. So I go in there and stick my head out, and I don't even tell jokes. I just scream at these people. I forced this older woman to grab a bottle of Jack Daniels and start pouring it in my mouth, and then I'm spitting Jack everywhere. So it definitely didn't go probably as they planned, but I took that shit and I ran with it.
That's awesome. That's fantastic.
So that's probably the most weird, degrading thing. Other than that, nothing really sticks out.
So how did you get the comedy bug?
I just I don't know, man. It just felt natural, or normal to me. I saw ninth grade a Sam Kinison documentary on
That's
HBO,
awesome.
and I
That's
was like,
awesome.
"What is
Kinison.
this?" And I was laughing so hard. It wasn't even till later, I knew some of the things he was even talking about. It was just this delivery, and I'm like, "Man, there's a job where you can just say whatever you want, and there are no rules." You start doing it, and then you realize there are rules.
Yes.
And now today's society,
there are a lot of rules.
Something to say about it. So I did stand up at my senior banquet for the first time when I was 17, and I actually just performed at my 20th year high school reunion in the middle of September.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. So just
good gigs if you can get them.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So what is one of your bits that once you got that written, you thought it was going to do excellent up there, and then it didn't. Or vice versa.
Yeah,
you wrote something, and then you're like, wow.
Yeah, I don't know. When I first started off, I was definitely. I would tell these elaborate stories, that were just really. I don't even know, bizarre, and. Those were probably the times when I'd be like, oh, this is going to be hilarious, but just no one got it because I think it was too weird. But then you do it long enough, and to be honest, you get to a point where even if I try something that I think is going to be awesome and it doesn't work as well, I'm able to save it somehow in some way by just pulling it out of my subconscious and then I'll be like, oh, that's how a lot of jokes will work out. I'll go up there and I'll think I'm going to say it this way, and then I end up saying it completely different and then adding something to it. And then that's how a really good joke is created, at least in my experience.
That's fantastic. So being in the comedy business as long as you have been, what do you think of What does society think of your business of comedy? What do you think they think?
Well, it just depends on what part of society. I think that there's a lot of people that their friends tell them they're funny, and they think that if they had the time or whatever, like they could figure it out and go on stage and crush, and that it won't happen. It's completely different. I mean, you got to figure out how to write jokes that 100 different or more strangers are going to laugh at, no matter what part of the country you're in. You know what I mean? And I don't even know. I've thought a lot about it. I don't even know how it happens. Like, I don't even understand how it works. Really. So, and then is that, I don't know, like, I think that, people are starting to fear stand-up comedy in a way, because, like, comedy has a way of pinpointing something that's ridiculous and then showing people that it's ridiculous, and some people don't want their views or beliefs challenged. Yep. And then when, they take themselves too serious. That's the problem. Everyone just takes everything so damn serious, and it's not. This is a shit show. We're in a dystopian hellscape. Let's laugh at how dumb everything is. But some people can't do that.
So being all over the country and being in the business as long as you have, what is the best comedy scene? Where in the country would you say that you do better, or that you've heard is better? Or
I don't know, like people are saying that, Austin, Texas has been a great place for a while, and now that Joe Rogan's packed up and him down there, and Tim Dillon, and a handful of others, that's like the next scene. And it's probably just because, California has just turned into a complete shithole, fucking communist place where they just take all your money, and they want to keep their money now that they're making millions. But there's nothing like, out of all the places, there really is nothing like the Comedy Store in LA. Like, out of all, it's just got a weird aura about it, a weird vibe, a lot of history. Or going to, the Improv on Melrose or the Laugh Factory. There's just nothing like it.
That's awesome. So, I have to ask you the question that I ask all the comics. Is there such a thing as a bad room, or is it just you're having an off night? Because I've had some comedians say, hey, you're being paid to entertain these people. You better get over. But then I've also heard other comedians go, sometimes people just suck.
Yeah, for sure. Some people are just horrible people. And if you get a crowd where you got a bunch of adults and no one is being respectful and listening, because the key ingredient of comedy is you have to listen, you have to pay attention.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're not going to get the punchline because you haven't heard the premise and the setup. So if you got people that are just like, they come at a comedy show, but they're just talking and having drinks and all that, and they're not going to stop, then it doesn't matter. I mean, you still do your show in the best of your ability, but it's going to suck for the audience because there's a few shitty people, So there is bad rooms, but it's the people that create that.
Yeah. How do you deal with hecklers? Or do you get any?
No, like every once in a while, you do, and usually they can be contained or dealt with, especially if you're experienced with.
Contained or dealt with.
Yeah, like just interacting with them or putting them in, because like what you find out is a lot of people are here to listen to the show.
Well, yeah.
So when someone's being a rude asshole and talking, the people that are trying to hear paid money for the show, and you start attacking them, they want that. So they're happy for it. And I've only one time lost my cool on just one guy. No one, because a lot of the places, the venue, it's up to the venue and the people working the venue to have the crowd under control. So if you got a table that's talking or anything, and you got door guys or, you know, people standing there and not going up to them going, hey guys, you know, please keep it down. If that doesn't happen, then, you know, no jokes aside, you know, I've ripped into people. I made a bridal shower, a bride cry and shit. You know,
That's
just to the
awesome.
point, because it's like, I gotta do my job, you ruin it for everyone else. So, you know, I told one drunk guy at one time, I was snowing outside, I'm like, go outside and make a fucking snowman. You know, go play in the snow. No one likes you. You know, you're free, like, your kids probably hate you, leave.
Just got to be brutally honest.
You get to a point because it is so, like, we're adults. Like, you know, we got to be polite and respectful to what people are doing, you know?
Well, before we let you go, how do we get a hold of you online and look you for shows and all that?
Yeah, so I'm revamping my website, so it's currently down. Should be back up here in a little bit, but it's austenanderson.net. But I'm probably most active on Instagram, Austin Cole Anderson, and that's C-O-L-E. It's my middle name, and Anderson is S-O-N.
Awesome.
All right.
Well, good stuff, brother.
Thanks,
I really
dude.
appreciate it.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
Thanks for watching Jiggy Jag TV.
Yep.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, no
That
problem,
was
man.
fun.
Yeah.
I think that's funny.
I had a skin tag. Yeah, that's fucked up, right? I saw it. I wanted to get in a warm bath and just cut it. Just bleed to death right there. I'm like, it's over. No more tags. I didn't realize that I was getting like old until like I played basketball for the first time and my Achilles tendon exploded. I didn't know that was a thing. I had no idea that when middle-aged white people play basketball, their Achilles tendons explode. No clue, man. I thought someone threw the basketball at me. I was like, who threw the ball at me? And they're like, no one. Muscle was in my calf. I'm like, it's a worm. Cut it off. Remember, like, the worms that would go in people's bodies?
Jesus Christ, is he gone?
He's gone, finally.
Jiggy, 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 jiggy.
This is the greatest moment of his life.
The Jiggy Jaguar, the Jiggy Jaguar, the Jiggy Jaguar show. The Jiggy Jaguar, the Jiggy Jaguar, the Jiggy Jaguar show. The Jiggy Jaguar, the Jiggy Jaguar, the Jiggy Jaguar show. The Jiggy Jaguar, the Jiggy Jaguar, the Jiggy Jaguar show. And you're watching freaking Jiggy Jag TV.
Thank you. Good night.